Today I want to address the perpetuality of poverty. The perpetuality of poverty, what does that mean? Basically what I'm saying, or what I believe, I've come to understand through my own experiences, is that poverty begets poverty. There's something about living in poverty and not necessarily squalor, even though that's the case too, but poverty begets poverty in this way. You don't have the money to cover a bill, so the bill gets cut off. To get it turned back on, they're going to charge you a fee to get it turned back on. In the case of electricity, if it gets turned off, let's say PG&E in California, then they won't let you make a payment arrangement. They want you to pay the entire bill in full. The issue is that if you could pay the entire bill in full, then you wouldn't have needed payment arrangements to begin with. You're struggling. Food stamps, cash aid in California was originally meant to be a temporary situation, but the problem is that people on food stamps and cash aid in the long run tend to make more money than teachers and secretaries in over 30 states in America. Their income is considered to be more than that of the people who offer our children basic education. That's sad. But it gets worse because it perpetuates itself. You get deeper and deeper because it's so hard to dig your way out. I found myself in the very same situation. I found it very difficult to provide for my family. It got worse and worse and worse. And the only way that I finally was able to dig my way out was through my education at ITT. Now, let me preface that by saying that I already had education. I had learned, first I had a couple of years in college anyway, but I had learned many, many things throughout the years and was working in the IT industry. In fact, I was even successful for quite a while until the economy went south. And when the economy went south, it takes, you've heard the saying, it takes money to make money. That is so true. And because I could no longer support my business, it became a situation where I got on food stamps, cash aid. Food stamps and cash aid became my lifeblood. It's the only way I could provide for my family. The Medi-Cal system was the only way I could provide for my family when medical needs arose. So I made a choice and I went to ITT Technical Institute. That choice is one that I will never, ever regret. In the initial stages with the associate degree, I felt like I wasn't really learning much because I had spent the last 20, 30 years in the industry. I felt I knew it all. And I did test out of a number of classes. But when it came to the bachelor's degree, I chose to go into information systems and cybersecurity. A budding field, it's been around for a while, but cybersecurity, information security, it's not going away. And it is probably one of the best investments you can make. Working for companies like the FBI, organizations like the NSA. I put a video on my own channel of Jim Cornell giving a speech about his journey into cyber forensics and how he got started in that. I've got another friend of mine who makes over 200 grand a year in PKI. That's public key infrastructure, by the way. Certificates, security certificates. So my slow climb out of poverty began with my education, and it was hard. It was a struggle, but worth every minute of it. And when I finally got my bachelor's degree, within 6 months, I was hired as an instructor, and I found a passion. I love teaching. I love teaching my students. I love seeing the light bulbs come on in their heads when they finally understand something. And I love seeing them graduate, get into a great job, and secure their future. I feel like I'm making a difference in life. And that is more important than the money. But you've heard the saying, you can't live in this world without money. That is so true. I finally am in a situation, I don't have tons of money, but I'm in a situation where I no longer am struggling day to day. I no longer worry, are my kids going to have any food? Is my rent going to be paid? The only thing that risks that is the risk of me making a poor decision. Poverty causes you to make many, many poor decisions because it's a struggle. And then every year when you get a tax return, it's a situation where, oh, I need to splurge because my life sucked all year and it's the only opportunity I have to feel good about myself spending money. It's a trap. I find it interesting that the rich find it easier to save money than the poor. And then it becomes a lifestyle. So this is not a depressing video by any means. One, I wanted to test the 4K quality of this camera now that I've got a 4K SD card. And the second was just to share some personal information with all of you, my YouTube family, and give some perspective on my last 10 years, probably 10 to 15 years of life. Bad decisions beget struggles, more struggles. But it's never too late to dig yourself out. And it starts with today. So I want to encourage all of you to start today by making good decisions. It may be education. It may be just following your passion, which I highly encourage everyone to do. But whatever you do, from day to day, think about the decisions you make with money, with family, and remember, family is more important than money, which is why I moved back to Texas in the first place. So I hope you all have a wonderful day or a wonderful evening, depending on when you're seeing this video. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for being a part of my YouTube family. Please hit that like button down there. I sincerely hope you do. Hitting that like button tells me that I have made an impact, that I have that brought a smile on your face, or I have made some kind of positive influence on your day. Hit that like button. Tell me in the comments how you feel about what I've had to say in this. I'm not claiming to be right about everything. I'm just sharing from my own experience. Share your own experience in the comments. Let me hear from you. And at another time, I will be happy to respond to any questions and any comments that you leave on this video. Until then, God bless you and keep on fighting the good fight and living. Live for today so that you can live tomorrow. Peace.